bells. And that's just a little bonus to winning. So 10 in the field for the 5,000 meters, and Susannah Scaroni start near the inside, outside a teammate Jenna Fesemyer, but Scaroni, one of the hot favourites. Menje of Germany could feature as well. On the very outside, Tian Yajuan of China. 3 from Switzerland in this one. Debrunner, Eachus, Schaer. Madison Rozario of Australia in lane 6. But let's go from the outside. 25-year-old Tian on the 24 Worlds.
Paralympic champion in the 400 meters T54 and 5-time world champion representing Switzerland, Debrunner. Pour la Suisse, Patricia Eachus. Médaillée d'argent des derniers Jeux paralympiques pour la Suisse. Double Paralympic champion and 2023 world champion representing Switzerland, Manuela Schaer. Pour l'Australie, Madison, Rozario. Pour la Grande-Bretagne, Rainbow Cooper.
Rozario won the 800 and the marathon in Tokyo.
Pour l'Irlande, Shauna, Bocquet. Pour l'Allemagne, Merle, Menje. Championne paralympique en titre et détentrice du record du monde pour les États-Unis d'Amérique. Paralympic champion, world and Paralympic record holder for the United States of America, Susannah, Scaroni.
And the one to beat, but plenty of pursuers.
C'est la finale du 5000 m femmes T54. The final of the women's T54, 5,000 meters.
Well, the crowd hoping, no doubt, for similar drama in this 5,000 to what they've just witnessed. It is the final of the women's 5,000 T54, and Scaroni second from the inside, not mucking around. Oh, and we've had a fall in the background, and they're going to stop the race. They are. So the crash happens this early. Rainbow Cooper of Great Britain tumbled to the track and out of the chair, and when it happens, Heather, this early, then they will restart.
I'm just getting a quick review of what happened, and it's the jostling here and just catching the wheel of Shauna Bocquet. So it was a collision between the British athlete and the Irish athlete. Eden Rainbow Cooper back in her chair, looking unscathed, but it'll be more of a mental trauma, that, trying to regain her composure.
And I think she was really caught between two athletes trying to close across the track. It may have been Schaer on the outside, Bocquet on the inside, and they'll wheel around to the start area and give it another attempt. Fortunately, Rainbow Cooper is okay, and she'll be hoping the chair is all right.
Well, that is certainly something they will have to check, just all the alignment of the wheels still running smoothly.
Well, if this was Formula One, they'd be back to the garage to get a fresh car, but it's not an option here. And sometimes think wheelchairs are built stronger than Formula One cars. They're a bit fragile, aren't they?
These are racing machines, these chairs, and
oh, absolutely,
very fine-tuned indeed.
I don't mean anything by that. I'm just having a crack really at the F1.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Steve. I'm with you.
Yeah. And Scaroni actually got left a little bit at the start.
Well, I was going to say, it'll be interesting to see this as a, now almost the athletes have played their cards on the first start. Will we see a similar beginning unfold take two?
We saw the 3 Swiss in lane 7, 8 and 9 trying to get across early. And Rainbow Cooper is okay. That's the good news. A little shake of the head.
She's still just wanting to really make sure she's in a comfortable position. I mean, this race is going to take over 10 minutes. I want to make sure you're entirely ready.
Away we go this time. Second attempt. And it is the first of the Swiss. Schaer leading across the track. Wants to set the pace early. Eachus as well. Debrunner, in fact, from lane 9, leading from Schaer. And stringing them out early. This is a very strong start. Rozario of Australia settling into 3rd position.
Well, this couldn't be more opposite to what we witnessed earlier on in the Stade de France. Here on day 2 of the athletics.
So Debrunner, it is by some 5 metres. One of her Swiss teammates, then Rozario, and stringing them out. Perhaps they're trying to test Scaroni early, as the world record holder needs to be asked some questions if she's to be upset.
Well, this is fascinating tactics from Catherine Debrunner. She's on paper the 3rd fastest in the field this year and in all time, but she, I think, just wanted to get the race sort of clear of any trouble, and maybe after that slightly shaky start, she just thought, right, I want to make sure it's strung out and we don't want any big packs forming. And now we've got a pack of 5, so this could be when the race starts to settle in and the athletes begin to work a bit together, because we have our favourites, as we can see. Not our personal favourites, but those who would be favourite to take the title today.
Schaer it is, who leads a small group of 5, and fairly tight as they come around a home turn once more. Rozario sitting in 2nd, and looks like Scaroni has moved around to take the lead, and no surprise to see her in this position.
No, I mean, I think the only surprise, it took her a lap to get there, but she kept herself out of trouble, and it was such an experienced racer. She wouldn't have been threatened by that fast start we saw from Debrunner.
Let's have a look at what's happening in the shot put.
Volodymyr Ponomarenko just outside the podium 3 years ago in Tokyo with that 4th. 14.96 he threw there. Well, 12.70 on his 3rd throw, his first actual valid throw of this competition. Let's see what this 4th throw here has produced for the Ukrainian. It looks big. He's pretty happy with that. Incredibly happy with that. And no wonder, a 16.12 for the Ukrainian, a personal best, and what a time to throw a lifetime best. And that puts him 1 centimetre ahead of his compatriot. Well, it's all going off in the field events as we now head to the women's javelin. The excitement going around on the outside on the track, but action and drama inside that. The women's F13. Dabrowska with her 3rd attempt. Bronze medalist from the recent World Championships. Well, that's an improvement, and look at that, continual improvement for the neutral Paralympic athlete. putting herself into the silver medal position behind Zhao. But what an incredible lead by the reigning champion, 47.06. Puts her way out in front as we get to the final 2 throws to go in that women's javelin competition.
Back to the track and the women's 5,000, and Scaroni and Debrunner. Debrunner just edging to the front as they come down with 7 laps to go. They've dropped off half the field. It now looks to be a race in just 5, and perhaps turning it into a race in 2, Debrunner and Scaroni. A couple of the other Swiss might have something to say about that, but just at the moment, Debrunner and Scaroni have got a little bit of a gap. Schaer, Rozario, and Eachus there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you can see Rozario, the sort of the prickle between the 2 Swiss athletes there, the Australian making up that group, and it'll be interesting what, you know, if the Swiss have a bit of a team tactic, having 3 athletes at such a high level in this final. Do they have any team work that's going to go on to sort of try to push out the American and the Australian?
Well, the gap has stretched once more, with Debrunner and Scaroni clearing out by some 25 metres. Then back to Rozario. Sultanov puts it out past 15 metres.
We were sitting at 15.88 before that. And we'll wait to see the confirmation of exactly how far past the 16-metre mark it was. Personal best of 15.49. And he knows he's just exceeded that. But how much of a margin is it enough to put him in the lead? 16.45. And Uzbekistan, Elbek Sultanov takes the lead in the men's shot put F12. Well, there's so many changes going on here in this men's shot put. One exciting final with 2 throws left to go.
So coming around into the home straight again, it's Debrunner and Scaroni. Debrunner just shifting to the outside to allow Scaroni to take a turn leading. So these 2 have got a sizable lead now, the best part of 100 metres over the pursuing 3 of Schaer, Eachus and Rozario of Australia. And they're now starting to lap some of the slower competitors, Debrunner and Scaroni. Scaroni leading. So this is going to turn into a very interesting last few laps, Heather. It's a completely different race to the previous 5,000 we witnessed.
It really is, and I'm really surprised at this. And I think Scaroni is getting a little frustrated. And here, look, she's coming out wide, and she's saying to Catherine Debrunner, look, I'm not going to do all the work on the front here. And she's looking up at the big screen, and she'll know where the rest of the field are. And she's just been basically giving that draft benefit to the Swiss athlete, and she's just saying, I'm not going to do this and risk you coming past me for that final sprint because your arms are fresher than mine. And here now she's letting Debrunner do the work. However, she doesn't want to let the pace back off and see that gap close, because they know they could return to a group of 5. So it's almost like the battle here for the gold and the silver, and then further back, which we'll see in a moment, we've got the battle of the 2 Swiss and the Australian, who potentially are battling for 1 medal in their group of 3.
And it's been these 2 for the last couple of laps, and they've really stretched this lead to well, almost half a lap. It's
I mean, this can happen when you've got this sort of group dynamics, and I'm amazed that Schaer and Eachus and Rozario have let them get away this far. But it was almost probably they were all saying, no, you do the work, and by the time they've got themselves together as a group, that huge gap had opened up, and here we see the chasers, and I think now none of them want to do the work on the front to close that gap, so they're almost banking on, right, well, we're fighting for a bronze, and I'm not going to lead the group to try and close it, because then you're going to be fresher if you're sitting behind me. So it's a really interesting dynamic. You see this a lot in cycling events as well, when you've got that draft element, and it's so evident in wheelchair racing.
A move made now by Scaroni, really putting in some big pushes as they lap another couple in this women's 5,000, and they're coming down for the bell lap. Scaroni and Debrunner, perhaps the two Swiss in the following group. So, well, we've got one up the front, and we're holding back Rozario to keep her out of it. But those tactics are just conjecture on our part, as Scaroni pushes hard into the back straight for the last time. Coming up on her outside is Debrunner with something more to offer. And here comes Debrunner of Switzerland, moves past the world record holder in Scaroni, and Scaroni struggling to respond at the moment. The gap is growing for Debrunner.
Well, this is incredible tactics, isn't it, by the Swiss woman, and has she timed it to perfection? Has Scaroni got anything to answer? And it doesn't look like she does, as the Swiss woman runs away with it.
And Debrunner comes down to the line. Scaroni cannot answer. Debrunner wins it convincingly. A marvellous race from the Swiss, Debrunner. Scaroni second. And the race is on for this bronze medal. Two Swiss and an Australian. Rozario pushing hard into third position now, but she's being challenged, but the line might be too close. Rozario down to the line for the bronze medal. And quickly into a fairly amicable chat, the gold and silver medalists. I don't think there's any ill feeling about who was drafting and who wasn't, but and Rozario comes over to congratulate them both. So Debrunner of Switzerland, Scaroni USA, Rozario Australia. So the multiple medalists in this women's 5,000. A great contrast in how a couple of distance races can be tactically approached.
Well, you might just be wondering about that new Paralympic record. Now, that is because Debrunner is actually an T53 athlete, which makes it even more impressive that she beat the T54 on her way to that title.
So the Paralympic record goes the way of Debrunner. A season best for Tian Yajuan of China. The 11:10 posted by Madison de Rozario. Just outside her season best by some 4 seconds. 4 seconds wouldn't have made a difference today, though, with Debrunner and Scaroni so far out in front. Crowd being treated to some great sport here in the Stade de France. We expected nothing less. On the track, in the field. Tremendous sport as Debrunner wraps herself in the Swiss flag.
Well, that was timed to perfection, wasn't it? Wonderful tactical racing by Debrunner. Susannah Scaroni set the pace early on.
Interesting contrast in their push rate. Heather, just a little more frenetic contact with the wheel. Scaroni, a little more power, it seems, being applied by Debrunner, which doesn't stack up with their classifications, but it was the case. She forwards to the front and stayed there. And then Rozario, in this intriguing race for bronze, split the two Swiss and had enough left.
Well, those three would have known it was going to come down to a sprint for one medal between three of them, and Rozario, in a sense, was the winner in that situation.
Yeah. A race within the race. What a great smile from Catherine Debrunner. Won the T53 race in Tokyo, the 400 meters. So you know she's got a sprint in her if she's got something left. This way, well, she wants the photo with the scoreboard. That's fair enough too. Took something special to beat Scaroni, and Debrunner supplied it.
Well, you can see how hard she's still breathing. That just shows the effort that went into that gold medal. But an effort that she'll remember for the rest of her life.
Not easy to do, smile big and breathe deep at the same time. But there's the result. Catherine Debrunner of Switzerland in 10:43.62, setting a new Paralympic record for her classification from Susannah Scaroni just behind her. Madison Rozario of Australia winning that great dash for third from Eachus and Schaer.